Christie, is Amber on this one?
Yes. Sorry, I was muted. Yes, she is.
Yep, she's here,
Okay.
muted.
All right, Erin, you can start the meeting.
Good times. Okay, it is 7 o'clock on Monday, October 12th, 2020, and this is a regular meeting of Chagrin Falls Village Council, and I officially call us to order. We will start off with the Pledge of Allegiance, and joining us tonight, we have the Junior Girl Scout Troop, who are fifth graders at Chagrin Falls Intermediate School. It is Troop 70878, and they are going to kick us off.
A moment to get started.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
With
of the United
the
States
United States of America,
and to the republic for which it
for
stands,
which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Christy. I would ask the clerk, Mr. Bloom, to do the roll call, please. Dave, you're on mute.
DiBernardo,
Here.
Evans, Grube,
Here.
Newell,
You're on mute, Deb.
you're muted. Rocky? He's muted too.
Yeah, everyone muted for the pledge, I think.
Yeah,
Here, sorry.
no problem. Rocky, Rogoff,
Here.
Wyval?
Here.
Newell's here.
I've got it.
Thank you, Mr. Bloom. Did everyone receive a copy of the minutes from our meeting on September 14th? Any
Yes.
changes
Yes.
or corrections to the minutes? Okay, seeing none, can I please have a motion to approve the minutes?
motion to approve.
I have a motion by Evans,
Second.
second by Mr. Rocky. Roll call, please.
DiBernardo,
Abstain.
Evans,
Aye.
Grube,
Aye.
Newell,
Aye.
Rocky,
Aye.
Rogoff,
Aye.
Wyval?
Aye.
Okay, report of the mayor. Bill, you're on mute.
Still on mute.
Okay, is that better now?
Yep, thank you.
Right. As you all know by now, I have appointed a mayor's advisory committee on the small business of trying to help them both cope with this COVID and recovering from that, as well as looking longer term towards the formation of a formal merchants committee to promote commerce in Chagrin Falls. That will be meeting in public meetings in future to be announced. Right now, we don't have any announcements. Any formal action is going to be limited to the promotion of the lighting of the greens, and there seems to be a move apart for them to have a fall outdoor sales event, be helping with that. The road program for this year, which was relatively small besides the 800-pound gorilla, is being completed, and I think they did a marvelous job. Rocky, you could be a better comment on that, but we were able to fix the curbs, the sidewalks, as well as and doing some storm sewer repair on Bradley and Bellevue, as well as resurfacing the roads there on Columbus and Maple Lane. And the big one, I'll let Tim and Ludia report on, but that is going well. There is going to be a change order on tonight's agenda related to the need to replace 120 feet of sanitary sewer and around 300 feet of storm sewer. but I'll let the two engineers speak to that. Other than that, that's my report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Bloom, report of the Finance Director.
I have no report tonight.
How are we doing with the check scanning?
That'll be starting up tomorrow, as a matter of fact. It'll be installed tomorrow and tested for the first time.
Okay,
So it's ready to go.
thank you. Do we have any members who I'm sorry, I can't speak apparently tonight. Do we have any members of the public who wish to speak to a legislative matter on our agenda?
No, we do not.
Mr. Markowitz.
Thank you. Okay, we have a number of ordinances tonight. The first one is ordinance number 2020-36, an ordinance to create definitions for dangerous and vicious dogs and to regulate the keeping of such dogs within the village of Chagrin Falls, and amending section 505.01 of the codified ordinances and declaring an emergency.
Okay, this is our third reading. Mr. Rob,
Yeah.
anything you would like to add?
I mean, we've gone over it pretty much in detail. I would like to see it pass tonight, but that's basically it. If anybody has any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them.
Do we have any questions? I know we've all looked at this a few times.
It's very rare. It feels like the things actually go to 3 readings.
Is it,
Well, it's so nice.
since I missed the last meeting and the discussion, this is only a procedural question. Is this something we want to be activated immediately, or is this something that can wait 30 days to go into effect?
I think that's why we have it in a state of emergency, because we
Is
would
it?
like
Okay.
it. We
Okay.
have waited a substantial amount of time. We didn't want to leave it on 3 readings because it is a
Right.
substantial change, but we'd like to get it enacted as fast as possible
Okay.
once it is passed.
So if it were to pass, it would go into effect as soon as it's signed by the mayor and the council president. Correct.
Right.
Okay. So do we have any additional questions, any comments, anything else we want to go over on this one? I'm not seeing anyone. Nancy, are you waving at me?
Oh, no.
Oh.
I have no
My
question.
lamplight out of my face so I can see.
Okay. Seeing no hands and hearing no questions, can I please have a motion to suspend the rule? Yeah, suspend the rules on ordinance 2020-36.
Well, you don't have to. It's
You
not
don't have
third
to.
reading.
We want on
Motion
3
to
readings.
adopt?
Motion.
Even though it's an
Second.
emergency?
Yeah.
Emergency, it does,
Because
you
we
don't
have 3
wait,
readings.
right, you just need 5 for the emergency,
Interesting. Okay, see how rarely we do this, my friends. Okay.
right?
So I have a motion by Evans,
Second.
second by Rogoff. Roll call, please.
Evans,
Aye.
Rube,
Aye.
Newell,
Aye.
Rocky,
Aye.
Rogoff,
Aye.
Wyval,
Aye.
DiBernardo.
Aye.
Okay. Next ordinance is 2020-41, an ordinance to accept a Northeast Ohio Public Energy Council 2020 Energized Community Grant and declaring an emergency. And we do want to get this passed tonight.
Okay. Mr. Newell, can you give us some more information on this one?
Yeah, this is a grant that NOPEC is giving out to all communities. It's just shy of $20,000. The mayor's got 4 or 5 different ways he is considering spending it once we get it. And we would certainly be informed of those plans. But tonight is just basically a ordinance to accept the money, accept the grant from OPEC.
Yeah, they're going to hold the grant for us till next year.
Okay.
Up to 2 years.
Up to 2 years. Thank you, Rob.
It goes into like some sort of, is it an escrow account? Is that the right word that you used, Rob?
What was that?
It goes into a special account, right?
Escrow, yeah, they hold it in escrow for us, and then we can add to it. I mean, they've had this grant program called the Energized Community Grant for several years now, and it's anticipated to continue. So the money we're awarded the money again next year that will build. As long as it's used within the 2-year period, we're good. So we have some ideas we're in the planning stages for now.
What does the money have to be used for? That were there
Energy.
just
Energy conservation project, a public project that demonstrates energy conservation. So in the past, you might recall, those of you that were on council when we approved accepting this grant and applied it towards the replacement of the Solon Road Water Booster Station electric motors. We switched from fixed frequency drive motors to variable frequency drive. We had an energy study done to show a predicted savings by switching out to that style motor. Just so happens that when we had the electric or the power surge that fried the old motors, this all worked together and those motors were replaced, and we are seeing a pretty remarkable savings with that move. So this grant definitely helped in that category.
More than likely, Rocky, it'll go to something in phase 2 of the wastewater treatment plant, but it could go to lighting. It could go to a lot of different things, but most likely the wastewater treatment plant.
That's what I figured.
Yeah.
Bob, is there any contribution on our end in kind or otherwise? Okay.
No, it's just a flat out grant. They do have to approve the project though, so we have to demonstrate the proposed savings, the electrical efficiency that will be gained from it. We also, I believe, another project that just came to mind is that when we did the Walters Road project, we used some of this funding to eliminate the sanitary sewer pump station up there, which then
You did, Rob. That's true. So
eliminated
went from whatever that was to 0 in energy. So
Okay.
it's been a very beneficial program for us.
So I'd like to make a motion to suspend the rules for this ordinance.
I have a motion by Newell. I didn't hear the second.
Second.
Okay. I have a motion by Newell, second by DiBernardo. Roll call, please.
Rube,
Aye.
Newell,
Aye.
Rocky,
Aye.
Rogoff,
Aye.
Wyval,
Aye.
DiBernardo,
Aye.
Evans,
Aye.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion to adopt by Newell, second by Evans. Roll call, please.
Newell,
Aye.
Rocky,
Aye.
Rogoff,
Aye.
Wyval,
Aye.
DiBernardo,
Aye.
Evans,
Aye.
Rube,
Aye. Okay.
Thank you. Resolution number 2020-42, a resolution of support for the development of Ohio and United States bike routes and designation of an official route by the American Association of State Highway and Transportation Officials.
So this is a rather exciting program that's happening at the state level. They are going to be designating bike routes across the state of Ohio. We have a map showing the overview of the entire state. It's like that second or third page in the PDF.
Is that it?
No, the other document.
It's the
Yeah.
12-page one there.
The whole
Yeah,
state.
the big one. So this will include signage that will be uniform across the state. You can see sort of how it's going to create this nice little web of bike trails. It will come directly through the village of Chagrin Falls. It'll come to us through Miles. It will then go up Maple to Washington. And then I'll let Rob go back. If you want to go back to the one you first showed us. This was their original proposal. This has been changed. I spoke with the active transportation director at ODOT today. And so what will happen is the bike trail 80 will go up Washington to Ridgewood. At Ridgewood, it will go north, where it will then go east onto Bell Street into South Russell and Geauga County, where they do have a 3-foot wide shoulder bike lane. We feel like it'll be a little safer than going up Bell Street between Cleveland and Ridgewood. We are waiting for an updated map, but I spoke with Ms. Harley, the program director, and she was like, absolutely, it all makes sense. So that small adjustment has been made. Oh,
I am so glad we've made that adjustment because Bell Street is so narrow between Philomathian and, quite frankly, Ridgewood. I think that's an excellent change.
Yeah, Jan, I told them that I wouldn't ride a bike on that. I wouldn't even think about letting a child ride a bike on that.
Well,
No,
people do.
I followed a bicyclist up there the other day, and I had to go down like to 5 miles an hour because I couldn't pass her and give her 3 feet.
Yeah.
And, I was worried. I was really concerned. So
It's not only narrow, but also uphill. So
correct.
Are we sure we don't want to make
Direction
them
you're
go
going,
right out?
Angie. That's like you're walking to school in both directions. Are uphill,
exactly
right?
in the snow. Exactly.
Right.
So
No, what
Yeah,
Aaron,
no.
Aaron and I talked about before was there's just no way, no way to make that safe.
Well,
I
Right.
agree.
And as
So-
you know, I was a member of Safe Routes for a long time, and I live on Bell in exactly the stretch you're talking, and I would not allow my kids to ride bikes on the street. It's
No.
just too
Oh, you can't.
dangerous. So it's too dangerous. So I absolutely agree with that. Thank you very much for looking at that and making that change. That's not something that somebody who didn't live here would necessarily know. And I'm glad you were able to work with the group and tell them that's a bad route.
Yeah, both,
So-
They were
both Aaron and I
incredibly
were in contact with them and
Yeah.
told them it just wasn't safe.
Right.
Washington Street was by far the safer route to go.
Great.
So anyhow,
Yeah,
So
I mean,
do
I
we
just wanted
need
to.
a motion to approve?
Second.
Okay, so we have a motion by Evans, second by DiBernardo. DiBernardo, I cannot speak
It's
today.
okay. It's all good.
Sorry. Roll
Yeah.
call, please.
Rocky,
Aye.
Rogoff,
Aye.
Wyval,
Aye.
DiBernardo,
Aye.
Evans,
Aye.
Krug,
Aye.
Newell.
Aye.
Okay. Next one is Resolution 2020-43, a resolution recognizing Stormwater Awareness Week occurring from October 18th to October 24th, 2020.
So this comes to us from the good folks at the Cuyahoga Soil and Water Conservation District. I'm trying to find my copy in my papers and it is not, it's hiding from me. It's on vacation. I apologize if I'm making too much noise here in my microphone. The goal of Stormwater Awareness Week is to bring awareness to the issues and efforts around stormwater within the region. Obviously, the village has spent a considerable amount of energy and time and inconvenience on stormwater this year when you look at what we're doing on East Washington. We have ongoing talks with Bainbridge. We have information gathering going on in the village, on the village website to gather other neighborhoods that are having stormwater issues. We had the successful project in Greenbrier. And it seemed like a resolution to help support one of our partner organizations out in the area would be helpful for them. So that is the spirit in which we bring this to you tonight. Any questions? It's pretty straightforward. We're recognizing the importance of stormwater within our communities.
But do we have to do anything or host any event or?
so our stormwater, Rocky's largely handled for us by the Chagrin Watershed Partners. They actually have written our stormwater regs, keep them updated, and conduct the training sessions for the service department. And one thing I neglected, I was going to cover it in miscellaneous, but since it came up, we've been in contact with Bainbridge regarding the stormwater flooding in South Street, Cedar Pine, and we've requested a joint meeting with them on that. But most all of our stormwater compliance issues are handled by the Watershed Partners. And I know the Watershed Partners have been in Chagrin meeting with residents on Locust and Lindell, in Senlap, South Street, and also previously, before we fixed it, in Greenbrier, Greenhaven. So they've been very active in our village, helping our residents deal with stormwater. They were successful in getting a 319 grant for some of the residents on Monticello for stopping the stormwater erosion that was eating away their backyard. So it's a big issue for us, but our membership in the Watershed Partners largely is the means of addressing it.
Yeah, and I totally understand that, but like this is just a resolution for Stormwater Awareness Week, but it doesn't require us to do anything.
Well,
Angie, go ahead.
yeah, and I have a suggestion. And obviously, it doesn't require us to do anything. I was just suggest if it is about awareness that if the Chagrin Valley Watershed Partners are producing any materials for awareness, which I'm sure they are, we could just put that on our website so it goes out that week to the
I'll
residents.
check that tomorrow.
The county-
They, like most organizations, are working remotely. So
Yeah.
it's coordination is best, but I'll find out tomorrow.
I'm sure if they have something, we could just pop it up there, and then when that automated news thing goes out for the week, it would go
Yeah.
out to all the residents on that list. At least they'd get some awareness.
Right.
Yeah,
whatever
the
the
county-
that's a
choice
good
is.
suggestion.
Yeah, the county soil and water has some stuff on their website.
Oh, good.
They're just now starting to get resolutions from a lot of the communities. There was only, I think, 2 or 3 when they made the request of us. And they'll probably get another 15 or 20 in the next few weeks. But they do have some information. There's somebody who's in charge of this awareness week who may be able to help you.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
that's a great resolution, but we're not actually doing anything.
Well,
So-
we are though. Like every time you have to drive up Bell instead of Washington, part of that is raising your awareness for why we need to manage our stormwater in a responsible manner. Because when we
Right, but
don't, it goes into our sanitary, and that obviously causes issues with our streams.
Yeah, but this
So I mean, part of
resolution
it is
isn't
having the
actually doing
conversation.
anything. It's a symbolic resolution.
It is
like we
symbolic.
are.
Yeah.
But I mean, if our symbolism today is like supporting the management of stormwater in a healthy way for our communities so that our residents don't have flooding and property washout, I mean, it seems like something I'm personally very comfortable to do.
Yeah, I thought you meant were we obligated to do something, Rocky? We're not.
No.
I think the suggestion of getting something that circulates a good one, and I'll follow up on it tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm all for passing it. I'm just, we should do something. If it's stormwater awareness week, we should do something.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
I have a motion by Evan, second by DiBernardo. Roll call, please.
Rogoff,
Aye.
Weigel,
Aye.
DiBernardo,
Aye.
Evans,
Aye.
Rube, Newell,
Aye.
Rocky.
Aye.
Okay. Mr. Markowitz.
Last item is ordinance number 2020-44, an ordinance authorizing the amendment to the contract between the Village of Chagrin Falls and SET Inc. to increase the contract amount and execute a change order and declaring an emergency.
Okay, Mr. Newell, you want to give us a little intro here?
Well, yeah, this is me. My name's on this ordinance because of utility, but it has to do with a change order for some additional work discovered after they got into the project. And I'd like to pass this on to, I'm going to butcher her name,
Lydia.
Lydia.
Okay, Tim. Because they're out there every day watching these guys work. And I want to add one thing. This contractor's great. I've stuck my nose down in the manholes and talked to them, and I'm really impressed with how this project's moving forward. So
I can go.
go ahead.
So there's 2 change orders. The one it will be a sanitary replacement. It is located near the church, and the problem with that is that the current sanitary is actually cast iron pipe and not clay pipe or PVC, what is typical for a sanitary main. And it is also due to it being cast iron and a very old condition, it's actually shrunk, so it is now like 6 inches instead of like the typical 8 inches. So the plan for that is that we will take out all the cast iron and replace it with PVC, and then our subcontractor will line like that whole section again to make sure there's a smooth transition. And then the second change order would be the storm sewer replacement. It's located in front of the post office. We had there has already been like repairs done prior, but we're able to actually televise the entire section, like most of it. And we have found that half of that storm sewer is already collapsed, plus there's holes in it and offset joints, and then there's sections that we didn't even get to due to heavy debris. So the plan for that is to relocate the storm sewer into the road and replace it, and hopefully that will take care of a lot of issues when it comes to drainage in that section.
Can you talk a little bit more about the 12-inch storm line in front of the post office, the timing on that? I know we have some concerns in the community with the election going on in terms of making sure we have access to the post office.
If we get it approved today, the plan is next week.
Okay.
And the plan also is to have flaggers for that section. And we will always have one driveway open for for the post office because it is a 300-foot section. So we will be like moving like in sections not do like a whole 300 open cut road at once. So like there will always be access to the post office. I emphasize that to the contractor to make sure that like one of the driveways have to be open at all times. It might change and people have to like come from like Immediate or Cleveland depending on how far along we are. But like I said, there will also be flaggers to ensure that people can get in and out and people can vote. Yeah.
And then, so how long do you think that section will take, and how long do you think the section up by St. John's will take?
St. Joe's, we are hoping to get done this week.
Okay.
If we get it approved. But this is just obviously like just the repair and everything, so we still have to pour concrete at some point. But it will be backfilled and everything. And then if everything goes like planned, hopefully it does, we will start the storm next week, and it should take all week.
Okay.
What led to not discovering this during the initial investigations is kind of my biggest question about this. And then also, have we had any conversation about where the money's coming from? Where are we going to get the money from?
We had contingencies in the contract. We're going to use those contingencies for most of this. All of this work qualifies under the EPA loan, so it won't have any immediate effect on finances. It'll be financed over 20 or 30 years at effectively zero interest rate from the EPA. So most of it's covered by the contract contingencies, and the balance would come from an add-on. I think this was found, Rocky, when they were trying to line the sanitary sewer. They ran into that section that wasn't able to be lined up by St. John's. The other storm sewers, when they were getting into doing that, they found that a number of anomalies. A 12-inch line, I believe, went into an 8-inch line and then went back into a 12-inch line. So somebody in their infinite wisdom built a funnel in the middle of a storm sewer for reasons that totally escape any logic. And
the piece of pipe they had at 4 a.m.
Yeah, well, you know, that's literally what we joked. Oh, here's an 8-inch pipe. Nobody's going to know. The other was that line, some of the pipe just has holes in it. Some of it is collapsing already and misaligned. So there's no way that it can be improved. I don't know, Ludia, what you want to add to that, anything additional?
No, basically we had already planned a point repair for that storm section, but then like the mayor just stated, we had found multiple different size piping, which made us try to televise more, and the subcontractor has better equipment and was able to televise more than what like the village has, and therefore we came to the conclusion that a point repair at that location in that storm sewer is basically pointless, or would be a waste of money due to the shape of the rest of the storm sewer. So, and yeah, like the mayor state, there is budget for this. We do have contingency, so it will just come out of the regular.
We do need to pass this tonight, correct?
Yeah.
Correct. We want to get started on it immediately, Jan. And
Hold
the
on.
contractor can't start until.
Hold on 1 second. Rob, did you want to add something? I see you.
I just wanted to add one comment regarding the financing for this change order. The original opinion of probable construction cost from CT was around $3,250,000. The actual bid came in at $3,032,000. So we were $218,000 under the original engineer estimate for the construction phase. So that can clearly cover the $94,673 change order within our planned budget and the planned projections from CT from where we started at the beginning.
Great. Thank you for including that information.
Can I make a motion to suspend?
Yes.
Second.
Motion by Evan, second by Newell. Roll call, please.
Ivo,
Aye.
DiBernardo,
Aye.
Evans,
Aye.
Rube,
Aye.
Newell,
Aye.
Rocky,
Aye.
Rogoff,
Aye.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Second.
Motion by Newell, second by Rocky. Roll call, please.
DiBernardo,
Aye.
Evans,
Aye.
Rube,
Aye.
Newell,
Aye.
Rocky,
Aye.
Rogoff,
Aye.
Weigel.
That's all we got.
Thank you so much, Mr. Markowitz. Okay, committee reports, administration and compensation.
Yeah, thank you. We had a meeting this evening before council meeting to discuss our working fraud policy. So we do have something in place that the mayor has drafted with some help that goes back to July of this year, but we're working on a document that's a little more expansive. So I feel like we put some good work into it today, and I think it's something we can bring to you fairly soon to review.
Fantastic. Arts Commission.
Just one short note. I'd like to acknowledge the passing of Arts Commission member Don Edelman. He was very dedicated to the arts and to Chagrin Falls, did a number of things for this community, and served the Little Theater for over 50 years. He'll be missed, and I encourage everyone, if you have Facebook, to go to the Chagrin Falls Little Theater page and watch the video of him receiving his Lifetime Achievement Award and read about his work here. Thank you.
Thank you. Board of Zoning Appeals.
Our next meeting is scheduled for, it's the 27th, correct? And it's going to be a busy one.
The Cemetery Commission will meet this week at 1 o'clock at the cemetery. Communications.
Communications will meet on October 26th before our next council meeting at 6:15. We have a draft of a social media policy that we will be reviewing at that time with the hopes that it will be able to go to council afterwards. Okay.
Facilities and services. Ms. Rogoff.
Oh, sorry. No report.
Finance Committee, I am going to be setting up a committee meeting for later this week, just working on some scheduling conflicts. Parking Commission.
No report tonight.
Parks Commission.
No report.
Planning and Zoning Commission.
Planning and zoning meets on the 19th at 7 o'clock.
Safety Committee.
Besides the ordinance for tonight, no report.
Shade Tree Commission.
Shade Tree Commission is still not meeting in person, but they did submit their planting list for spring, which has been finalized, and I'll try to get that on the village website so people can see where we're planting our trees this year.
Fantastic. Streets and sidewalks.
No report tonight, but Rob, could you tell us when they plan on starting to pave East Washington Street?
Well, that's still under discussion, I think, within the next several weeks.
Okay.
So we're still working through some details. As soon as I have something further on an exact date, I'll get that out.
Okay, thank you very much.
Utilities Committee.
No report tonight.
Okay. Report of the Chief Administrative Officer.
Thank you, Madam President. Just one item tonight. I just want to let the community know that we'll be starting leaf pickup service starting on Monday, October 19th. And that will run as many rounds as we can make through the village. The final round starts on Monday, November 30th. So please have all your leaves out no later than Monday, November 30th, and we'll get them picked up. Because of our newer machine, we're able to make more frequent passes through town. So there won't be anything on our website as far as tracking the truck, but we'll put the leaves out, we'll come and get them. And that's what I have on that.
And we would like residents to not put sticks or plants into those piles.
Right, we're picking up leaves only, place them 4 foot from the edge of the road, from the curb or the edge of the street, not in the street or in the ditch. We don't want to block up any waterways when we get the rainstorms and cause any flooding. And we should have a nice, smooth service.
Is there any, is Washington Street having a leaf pickup? How does that affect, how is that working with?
A leaf pickup will still go on as we're able to, as we can get through there. The paving crew, when that comes in, that will be a moving process. So we
Okay.
will be able to provide service there, even if we have to come in early or come in on a Saturday or a day when they're not working.
Great.
But all the residents on East Washington will still receive the service.
Great.
Thank you. Any other questions about leaf pickup? I know we get a lot of questions about this. Okay.
Sure.
Report of the engineer, Mr. Lannon.
Thank you, Madam President. I think we hit all the high points already, but if there's any questions, be happy to try and answer.
Questions, my friends? Okay, I think we're all constructioned out for the day. Report of the police chief.
Just one thing, Lisa Mariola is working on getting the mayor's court software purchased and going. So you may recall we budgeted for mayor's court software because the state's requiring us to go to online reporting. This will also make it feasible for us to take waivers online as opposed to at the window. I mean, people can still pay in person, but they can also pay online. So she's been working with Mr. Markowitz on getting the agreements worded correctly. And then we're planning probably mid-November by the time all of the accounts are set up and everything else that we have to do in the training and whatnot. But we should be online mid-November for online payments.
Fantastic.
And that's the end of my report.
Okay. Report of the fire chief.
Thanks, Madam President. I have two items. Just another kindly reminder, the Haunted Fire Station is not going to be held this year. And yesterday, we had a great opportunity to hold a live fire training in Moreland Hills on Chagrin River Road. We were also able to invite a few of our neighbors. Solon Fire Department and Orange Fire Department joined us in that training. So it was a great training session for all. That's the end of my report.
I saw the photos. They looked
Yeah,
like
pretty
I'm
cool,
glad you
huh?
had really big outfits on.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Members, so we do have a member of the public who has requested to speak to address council tonight. We will start with her first. Just my full-on disclosures before we get going. Chagrin Falls Village Council appreciates and values citizen comments during our meetings. The public section comment limits each individual to 5 minutes. All comments should be directed to Village Council. We will start with the person who is on our list, and then we will allow anyone who is in the Zoom to raise their hand and also address council if they wish. So SWC Ban Casa Holdings, Amy Weinfertner from 13 Bell Street will be joining us in just a moment. We'll give Christy a second to do that.
Karen, you might
Amy?
want to identify the building other than the address.
Oh, yeah, this is the Mario's building. Sorry.
I saw Amy unmuted. If Amy, at your discretion, you can choose to have be on the screen or not.
There we go. Everyone hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, we can see you too. It's working well.
Okay. Okay, good. Well, thank you for having me tonight. I will get to the point. I have 5 minutes and I don't think it'll be that long. So we have the 13 Bell Street building that's been slowly being restored. We've had a couple hiccups here and there, but I have a potential tenant that's in the process. He's finishing his financing approvals. He's a cordon bleu trained chef. He has credible levels of experience. I thought I'd give you a little background about him first. He has experience in owning and operating restaurants, in hospitality service, and I've interviewed him extensively, and he has financial smarts as well as creative smarts, and has some really good backing of good advisors behind him, because it's a little bit of a crazy time to be starting a business, as you can imagine. If you're interested in broad terms, his concept is a Naples style pizzeria. He's got some very unique options. Oops, I just lost you. How do I get you back?
We can
We
still
can
hear
still
you.
see
We
you,
can
Amy.
see you and hear you, so you're good.
I can't see anybody else, but okay. He's got some unique options. And his plan takes into account the challenging times that we're in. I am being a little bit vague in his idea because he would prefer, I'm being respectful of his preference to be able to unveil his full concept once the contracts are signed and the interior build out moves forward. He lives in Solon. He loves the location of the building specifically and Chagrin Falls in terms of the broader location. He also likes working with a private owner versus a bigger sort of real estate type of outfit. And 13 Bell Street is on the top of his list, but he does have other options of where to go. So what I'm specifically talking about, the building has it had a cement slab on the side of it, and that slab is owned by the village due to the fact that you have to have access to the dam. The current arrangements has the side space requiring a lease. What he is asking for is the use of the side space to be gratis now and ongoing. He'd like to say that he sees that this would add to the long-term viability and would be mutually beneficial. He'd like the Chagrin Falls location to be a flagship. The restaurant industry, there's new business models forming that are probably going to continue where the spaces are smaller and the service is quicker. This is positive for small, unique spaces, but it's also high risk in many ways. And the modern trends in commercial sort of storefront real estate in communities such as Chagrin Falls, they're showing that the fast casual dining will continue to increase, whereas storefront retail properties will continue to struggle. I have talked to the mayor and Harry and Rob regarding this opportunity and would like to move forward immediately. This is sort of where we are in terms of the signing of the lease. In addition, so my part of this is that as the building owner, we've heavily invested in the restoration of the building. That's stood empty in my understanding for approximately 15 years. It would be respectfully appreciated to note and to be taken into account that we've paid for the slab removal, which is no cheap or easy feat, and we'll be spending the time, effort, and money grading, leveling, and beautifying that side space that we do not own. The support is needed, and the partnership, we believe, would be mutually beneficial to get this support from the village. I would also like to say that we've had many visitors and so much support from the community, and they stop by the property all the time. A lot of the people working there say they have a hard time getting their job done. And I think that the complimentary use of the patio would be widely supported by the local community. Applying pressure in any way, we're just asking for the support and making what we think is a logical case that would be supported by the community at large and will pay off in terms of viability in the long term. Thank you.
Thank you for coming tonight. So the agreement we have with 13 Bell Street was done through an ordinance.
Okay.
And back in 2018. So I don't know that we can tonight repeal an ordinance that council hasn't had the opportunity to review.
Okay.
So what I would like to do is send this to the finance committee. We're going to be meeting later this week, maybe early next, and we can then put it through the committee process and bring it to council with a recommendation.
Amy, you want to tell council what the current rent is for the space?
It's $300 a month.
Thank you.
And what would the space be used for?
It would be in the times where the weather is nice, it would be an outdoor seating area, which is very needed right now and most likely going forward. And then it would be able to convert for a drive-in space in the winter. So when the weather's bad, people can just use that as an additional parking. It'll probably be kind of a quick parking area.
For like pick up and takeout orders, Amy?
There will be there will be seating in the.
No, that's not what I was getting at. I meant that parking in the wintertime would be just parking for like 10 minutes to pick up. That's what I was getting at.
Yes.
And how does this, I mean, fit under our current outdoor seating stuff?
That currently complies, Rocky. Rob and I have been through that with her. I didn't want to muddy the water, but I wanted you to know what they're planning to do. When she said parking, we weren't talking about it being a parking space per se.
Yeah.
But no, she complies. She's going to meet the carry-out requirement by having the seating on the inside. So there's no question with that. This little piece of ground is really fairly small, and you ought to look at it before voting.
Yeah, it's right there to the left of the building.
Yeah,
looking at
and
it.
it was this concrete slab that I believe they when it was Mario's had air conditioning units on it.
That's correct.
Yeah,
That is correct.
and frankly, I don't think the village knew we owned it, and I don't know how Mario's ever got permission to put the concrete or the air conditioners on it. But when it changed hands 12, 15 years ago, there was a survey done, and lo and behold, we found out that we owned it, so we leased it, and that's pretty much all there is to the history of this.
So it's kind of the area between where that split rail fence is and the wall.
Yeah, that's a good way to think about it.
And actually, there was a group of citizens that opposed to the village doing a long-term lease, and it did go to a referendum. And I believe it was over 73% of the voters approved of this village lease of the space to the property owner.
Yeah,
That is correct, Jim.
yeah. And one other thing to put into the thinking is that Bell Street Park and Bell Street itself from the shopping center exit by the barber shop, that's actually going to be closed during the period of construction of the bridge and doing the wing walls. So, I officially would support an abeyance of any lease payment when they're not able to use the space. The balance of what they should pay ongoing, we can talk about Thursday, but just on the record.
Let me get the finance committee together. We'll go through it when everyone can have a moment to read the contract and see details of what we're looking at, and then we'll go forward from there.
Yeah, I just was carving out two separate things that were.
Aaron, we'd have to amend the lease. You don't terminate it because, because we still have to have a lease with them of some kind.
Right.
There still has to be terms.
Right.
Okay.
So I haven't read the actual contract, so I think we should get that to council, let people read it, and then have the discussion.
We can get that out to everybody.
I'll handle that tomorrow.
I'm sending it out.
I'm just pleased someone wants to do something with it. It's been sitting vacant for so long. So thank you for your presentation.
Yes, it's exciting.
And, I wish you well.
Small feat.
No, it hasn't been, but thank you.
Thank you so much. Do we have any other members of the public who would wish to address council at this time?
I'm checking, thank you.
I was like trying to figure out how to check. I was moving my cursors all around.
No, Aaron, I think we're finished.
Okay then. Miscellaneous. Everyone should have seen an email today. We officially have canceled the hearing of a variance granted by BZA to the Brick House Group that was originally scheduled for October 14th. The developer and the neighbor have reached an agreement and have an easement in place that will allow, which solves my concerns. I know Mrs. Evans' concerns. regarding the variance that had been granted. So that has canceled and you have your Wednesday evening back.
Thank you.
Okay, does anyone have any other miscellaneous items they would like to discuss? Okay, Mayor, can you, real quick, we're just gonna back up. It was made public a couple weeks ago, trick or treating by the village. The village has worked with Bentleyville, Moreland Hills, and South Russell. And with the support of Dr. Hunt from the school district, each community is hosting its own trick or treating. And residents from all of our communities are encouraged to trick or treat close to home this year. We want to minimize the huge gatherings we normally see at the village. And the best way to do that is to do it close to home so that we don't have a huge spreading event. Obviously, many houses and all places won't have lights on either. So please respect houses that don't have porch lights on. And the goal here is to hopefully keep the kids in school because sanity.
That's everybody's goal. And it was a joint statement of all the surrounding mayors. So thank you for reiterating that, getting the word out. I believe the word's pretty well out now.
Yeah. I felt like since we had the air of YouTube, we should just go ahead and plug it. And I appreciate that you worked with all those mayors to put together a coalition and a community solution to like the world's biggest conundrum.
Yeah, and you didn't mention, but I don't think I couldn't hear all of it, but the JCs have also canceled the Oktoberfest and Scarecrow stuffing, which will not occur this year in Triangle Park for the same reasons.
But, it is also election season, so please vote. And that is all that I have. Does anyone have anything else? Seeing none, we are officially adjourned at 7:51 p.m. Have a wonderful night, and I will see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.